6-5 to earn the right to the championship ball game. While on the home side of the scoreboard, the Madison Heights Pirates had the regular season record of 9 wins, 15 losses so far in the tournament. Back on Monday, May the 30th, on Memorial Day, the Pirates defeated Alexandria 14-3, and then earlier today, the Pirates defeated the Elwood Panthers 4-1 to earn the right into the championship game. And joining me doing some color for the first time is Frankton High School head baseball coach Kyle Campbell. Kyle, welcome aboard.
Thanks a lot, John. Great to be here.
Taking a look at defensive linemen for the Madison Heights Pirates. Out in left field will be Chad Pike. In center, Steve Henley. In right field, Stacy Scott. From third to first, Corey Moore at third. At shortstop, Todd Hollowell. Jeremy Johnson at second. Jake Smith at first. On the mound is Jim Pratt. He has a record of 1-2 on the season. His ERA is 3.03, and he has 37 strikeouts in 38 innings. Behind the plate, his battery mate is Justin Yost. And for the Pirates, they're coached by Phil Nykirk. And I know you have the starting lineup offensively for the Highland Scots, Kyle Campbell.
Yes, for the Highland Scots. Leading off and playing center field is Rick Huddleston. Batting second and doing the pitching is Scott Shields. Playing right field is Kyle Browning, hitting third. In the cleanup spot is Brad McGuire, playing first base. Following Brad is Pete Strage at third. Matt Carpenter is playing second base. Brad Webb in left field. Tom Johns is the shortstop, and Adam Meeker is the catcher.
All righty, taking a look at the first 3 hitters for the Highland Scots. It'll be Rick Huddleston, a senior, batting .315 and playing center field. The second man up is the pitcher, Scott Shields. So far on the season, he's hitting .280. He's a senior. And the third man in the hole is Kyle Browning, a senior, playing right field, hitting .285. Here is our umpires for today's championship game. At home plate, James Robinson. At third base, Bob Weller. And at first base, Matthew Craig. And we're about ready, Kyle, to get things underway. Of course, fine folks at Subway Sandwiches in Anderson, located in a Kohl's shopping plaza on North Broadway, fed the crew of TV 40 today with some 6-inch subs. And they'd like to remind you that they've got the 6-inch turkey sandwich at Subway right now priced at $1.99. Where fresh is the taste, it's Subway. Here comes the first pitch of the championship game, and it's low and outside for ball 1. Pratt's first delivery, low in the dirt, Kyle.
Yeah, he'll settle down. Pratt's probably out of the 2 pitchers today, probably the most overpowering. He'll get a lot of strikeouts, where Shields is going to count on good defense behind him. 2-0,
quickly the count runs as that ball misses inside. What have you noticed about Pratt this year? Did you have a chance to face him with your Frankton Ball Club this year?
Pratt ran into some bad luck and broke his wrist early in the season. So during our game, he wasn't back into the swing of things yet. So he's just coming off an injury and hasn't played a lot here lately.
Well, the count is 3-0, and Pratt quickly behind in the count. During the regular season, Highland defeated the Madison Heights Pirates 11-2. The young sophomore for the Highland Scots, Brad Webb, who's playing left field today, was a pitcher of record in a victory for the Scots over the Madison Heights Pirates.
The catcher going out to settle Pratt down. I think he'll be fine when he gets over these jitters a little bit.
Okay, the count 3-0 on the batter. That's Rick Huddleston, 3-year varsity starter for Coach Bob Stecker's Scots. Here comes the 3-0 delivery. Misses outside, ball 4. So Jim Pratt of the Pirates, 4 straight balls, Kyle. That's not the way you want to start the ball game off, walking the leadoff hitter.
No, especially not for Madison Heights. Madison Heights has been a team this year that struggled a little bit offensively. They're not going to score a lot of runs today, so each one's going to be very important. You don't want to lead off an inning walking the leadoff hitter.
Runner over at first is Huddleston. Shields the batter. Pratt from the stretch. Shields squares the bunt, pulls the bat back. Ball's high for ball 1.
Another thing, too, early in the game, it's good to bunt and be aggressive offensively while the other team hasn't quite got over their jitters yet. Make the other team play, try to force them into making some mistakes early.
Shields digs in with a 1-0 count. Runner at first. Huddleston with a good lead. Here comes Pratt's delivery. Miss No, I guess it did catch the outside corner. Kind of a delayed strike call there. Evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, the field looks exceptional as always here at Anderson University.
There's not a better place around here to play, I'll tell you that.
We had the pleasure to broadcast, or televise, if you will, a couple of AU baseball games this spring. One of them right here at beautiful Raven Field, and I'll tell you what, you can't find a better complex around. Here comes a 1-1 delivery, misses in the dirt low, and gets away from the catcher. And down to second base quickly is Huddleston.
Huddleston was stealing on the pitch anyway, so the ball in the dirt getting past the catcher leaves the runner at second base.
Official scorekeeper Ed Hamilton from the Elwood Call Leader says, call that one a wild pitch as it hit the dirt in front of the catcher. Yost, the catcher, with that wild pitch trying to corral it. 2-1 to count. Huddleston at second. Good lead. Swung on by Shields. Hit past the second baseman. Huddleston will come to third. Shields to first. And the Scots have runners on the corners with nobody out.
Great piece of hitting there. The pitch on the outside corner of the plate. Him going with that pitch to right field. Nice piece of hitting, moving the runner to third base.
Look at the top 3 hitters for Highland. Huddleston, leadoff hitter, hitting .315. Shields, who just singled, hitting .280, and now Browning, a .285 hitter on the year. I know you got some other numbers on him as far as hitting power, don't you, on the Highland Scots over there?
Yes, home run wise, Carpenter, John, and Browning are the people to look out for. RBIs also, Carpenter up there in the county stats with 27. Browning has 23 RBIs.
Count is 0-1. First inning, top of the first. Runners on corners for Highland. Nobody out. Pratt trying to pitch his way out of a little trouble here in the top of the first. And delivery, a swing and a miss by Browning. And quickly, Pratt's ahead of Browning, 0-2.
Pratt seems to have found the plate here, the last couple of hitters. The base on balls always hurt you. It's not the base hit, it's the base on balls and the guys at third base.
You can't defensive walk, can you?
Can't do it.
Okay, here's Pratt with the delivery, and this one's high for a ball. That runs the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. As we mentioned, Pratt has 37 strikeouts in 38 innings of work this spring for the Madison Heights Pirates. 1-2 the count. Runners on the corners for the Scots. Huddleston down at third, Shields at first. Here comes the delivery, curveball, swung on, hit to second. They flipped to second for 1, back to first, got the relay on the double play.
Hollowell making an exceptional turn there.
Oh, it was.
He is a great athlete.
That went 4 to 6, back to 3 for the double play.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Hollowell is intending to go to Indiana State to play baseball.
As they get that double play, the Pirates allow 1 run to score. Coming in from third is Huddleston, but like you said, well-executed double play as Hollowell took the pivot at second after the flip toss from Johnson, got it over to first to Smith, and now the bases are clean. Scott's got a run on that double play.
Just goes to show you what walking the leadoff hitter of an inning does.
That's right. That hurt him. 2 outs. Scott's got a run on the board. Pratt's pitch high and inside. Count runs to 2 balls and no strikes.
Striggy's hitting 355 on the year, playing third base for the Scots.
This is McGuire, the batter. Here comes the pitch, and this one's right down the middle of the plate for a called strike. McGuire hitting 350. Striggy, as you mentioned, on deck, hit 365. 1-0 the count. Excuse me. 1-0 the score. Here comes the next delivery, and it's a called strike. That runs the count to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Highland here, they won the bye game over Anderson earlier this morning, 6-5. McGuire went down low to get the ball, and they appealed to first if there was a swing, and they said, nope, he checked it in time.
McGuire also possessing some power with 8 doubles, and 18 RBIs.
Here comes the pitch, swung on, by McGuire, hit down there. Johnson picks it up, flips it over to Smith. They go 4-3 to end the inning, but not before the Scots are able to pick up one run on one hit. And after the top half of the first, the Scots lead 1-0. Pirates coming to bat. Okay, we move to the bottom half of the first inning. And for the Madison Heights Pirates, they'll lead off with a sophomore, Chad Pike. Then Steve Hensley and Todd Hollowell will be your third batter. Pike stepping in. He's a .352 hitter on the season. Good young ball player, Kyle.
Yes, very good player. Also up there in the county stats in stolen bases with 17. Good leadoff hitter.
All right, first batter is Pike. We'll set the Highland defense when we get the opportunity. And the pitch from Shields is low and away for ball one.
Shields, again, is not a overpowering pitcher. He's going to be a spot pitcher. Going to require the defense to play good behind him. Gets a lot of fly balls, throws a lot of off-speed pitches.
Counts 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes Shields with the delivery, and that one caught the inside corner for a strike. 1-2 the count. Next pitch just misses the outside corner.
There's that good breaking ball from Shields. Just got to find his release point on that. Started it out too much in the middle of the plate, breaking away from the hitter. Shields comes into the game with a 3-2 record, 20 strikeouts, 4.69 ERA.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. First batter for the Pirates, Chad Pike, the sophomore. Big roundhouse curveball misses. That runs the count full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Highland defensively. In left field, Brad Webb. In center field, Rick Huddleston. In right field, Browning will set the infield in the second. And ball 4, missing to Pike. He draws a base on ball. So the Pirates start out the same way the Scots did, Kyle Campbell, with the base on balls.
I think both pitchers are a little bit nervous here in the championship game of the sectional. They should settle down. This will probably hurt Madison Heights more than it does Highland. With Madison Heights offensively, not as big numbers.
Shields checks the runner back at first. Pike in there plenty of time. Defensively for the Scots at third, it's Pete Strage. At shortstop, Tom Johns, not Tommy Johns, famous name of a famous Major League pitcher there. And at second base, Matt Carpenter for the Scots. At first base, Brad McGuire. On the hill, Scott Shields. And the catcher today is Adam Meeker for Highland. 1-0 the count to the batter. Hensley, a .383 hitter. Shields flirting with that outside corner, but he misses again, Kyle.
Seems to be the spot he's trying to hit, trying to keep things away from the hitter. Doesn't have an overpowering fastball, like I said earlier.
Well, a good hitter's going to take that outside pitch to right field if he can do it.
What he's got to be careful about now is walking this second hitter.
Timeout in the action. Meeker wants to settle Shields down as quickly. He's behind to Hensley, 3-0, and already walking one batter.
The catcher does a nice job going out there, too. Scott looked to be working pretty fast. Just slow him down a little bit, let him catch his breath, start over. One to nothing.
Scott's on top. Shields checks the runner back, and Pike's in there in plenty of time. Once again, during the regular season, Highland pounded the Pirates 11-2, but the Pirates' top pitcher didn't go that day, Hollowell. And base on balls, 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls to Hensley. And I'll tell you, Kyle, if you're Coach Stecker, you don't want to see your pitcher walk the first 2 batters in the bottom half of the first.
Right, and these 2 kids can both run. Pike again with 17 stolen bases on the year, and Hensley with 12. So you've got some speed on the bases, and you got Todd Hollowell coming up, who's an exceptional hitter with coming into this game with a .479 batting average.
Hollowell, the shortstop, as Kyle mentioned, .479 hitter, and Meeker going to trot back out there and talk to. What do you think he's saying to him right now?
Well, you hate to not be, or try not to throw strikes, but boy, you don't want to serve one to the fat part of the plate on Hollowell.
He can take it the distance, huh?
Sure can. Great hitter.
I'm looking for home runs on Hollowell. I got him during the regular season with 3. So, yeah, he definitely has the power. Looking at Anderson University's field, Raven Field, down the lines, 330 to right, 330 to left in the power alleys, 375 to left, 400 to right center, and 400 straightaway center. And here is a pitch where Shields takes a little bit off on the curveball, and Hollowell swings right over the top of it.
Don't want to serve anything fat up to Hollowell here.
0-1 to count. Pirates threatening. Runners on first and second after 2 straight bases on balls by the starting Scott pitcher, Shields. And next pitch. Call strike.
Must have hit the outside corner with that one, John.
I'll tell you, this home plate umpire, he doesn't get too dramatic with his strike calls, does he?
And it's a little bit delayed, so you can't tell right away what he's calling.
Runners on first and second. Here comes a pitch by Shields, low in the dirt outside. 1-2 the count.
He's up in the count. Look for him here to try to get Hollowell to chase something out of the strike zone.
Shields from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Slow curveball swung on by Hollowell. Lifted high out into left field. Way out there is Webb. Making the catch is Huddleston. And Huddleston's got that kind of speed. He can cover a lot of ground. He's played that center field position, what now, 3 years for the Scots?
Yeah, very good job defensively there. Big ballpark here. You're not going to get a lot of cheap home runs. You're not going to get any cheap ones. That ball right there would have been out of a lot of high school fields in this county.
I've got Pratt now coming up. Jim Pratt hitting .439 on the season. Once again, the first 2 bats for the Pirates in the bottom side of the first have walked, and they're still at first and second. Down at second, Pike. Hensley at first. 1 out. Here's the pitch by Shields. Called strike.
Pratt, again, another dangerous hitter with runners in scoring position.
We'll see if we can get Terry Turner to sit in with us at top of the second. What do you think, Terry? Terry is the Anderson Indians head baseball coach. And the ball swung on and hit past the diving shortstop out there, Tom Johns. That's going to bring Pike to the plate. Trying to stretch it to 3 is Hensley, and they nail him at third base. Well, the Pirates tie it up as Pike gets home on the hit by Pratt, but Hensley is thrown out at third base.
Pirates were running on that pitch. I don't know if it was a hit and run or just a double steal with Pratt having the green light.
Well, that ties the score up at 1 apiece in the bottom half of the first inning. As I was mentioning, we'll see if Terry will spend a half an inning with us. How about it, Coach? Had a pretty good season, he's telling me here in the press box between innings, Kyle.
Yeah, the Anderson had a nice season this year. I think he said it was their first winning season since '84, so that program's turning around.
Ball outside from Shields. 2 outs. Runner down at first. And after the single is Pratt. On the single past the diving shortstop Johns. Pike scored, but Hensley got thrown out at third. Shields checks the runner back over there. Pratt in plenty of time. 1-0 the count. To the batter, that's Corey Moore hitting .207. Moore takes pitch inside for ball 2. See. Swung on, hit back to the pitcher. Shields takes his time, flips it over to first. To McGuire for out number 3. Some more grounds out 1-3 to end the inning, but not before the Pirates pick up 1 run on 1 hit, and after 1, we're tied at 1 apiece. And we move to the top half of the second inning. The Highland Scots coming up to bat. They'll start out with Pete Strage, a senior, playing third base. Strage's a .365 hitter. Second batter is Matt Carpenter, second baseman. And the third hitter of this inning, young sophomore Brad Webb. Strage going to step in there. Of course, his older brother Ike Strage plays for the Anderson University Ravens.
Yes, both players exceptionally good hitters.
Here comes Pratt, the first delivery, and it misses high and inside for ball 1. Terry Turner, thanks a lot for taking time out of your schedule to come up here and chat with us in the press box. Kyle Campbell said you had your first winning season since early 1980s, so I guess congratulations are in order.
Yeah, we had a really good season. It was a disappointing loss today, but like I said, I think our kids gave us about everything that they could give us up to this point.
Talk a little bit about your ball club. I know the Plovic boy, this was his senior year, and he's been with you quite a while.
Yeah, well, the senior class, we had 9 seniors this year, and we've had them for 4 years. It was our first group to start with, and we weren't really overly talented athletes, but they worked very hard the last 2 years to get to the level that we ended up at.
Well, it's tough competition, Coach, playing in that North Central Conference, too. Here is a pitch swung on by Strage, popped very high behind second base. Making the catch for the Pirates is Todd Hollowell for out number 1.
Yeah, the North Central Conference, I don't know that it was down, but I know Lafayette Jeff kind of run away with it, but we were very competitive with everybody in the conference this year. Marion beat us 3-1 and 10. Kokomo beat us 6-5. So, you know, we were competitive in the conference this year, and we haven't been that way for a long time.
Matt Carpenter stepping up there, number 7, the second baseman, .435 hitter. He's a junior for Coach Bob Stecker's ball club. Pratt started out a little shaky in the first inning. So far, he's retired the first batter here in the second. And Carpenter looks at a called strike.
Carpenter having an exceptional season, hitting .435, has 5 home runs, 27 RBIs, and also 11 doubles.
Well, with all those seniors, Coach Terry Turner in Anderson High School, what's the JV prospects look like for next year?
It looks wonderful. They were, I think, 10-5. 4 of the 5 losses were 1 run, but there's a great deal of talent in that class.
Here's Carpenter's hit down the short. Hollowell picks it up, fires it over the first, and he threw a shotgun cannon over there to erase a speedy Carpenter. So that one goes 6-3 for out number 2.
Hollowell showing his arm strength there, and just remember he's already thrown 7 innings today from the mound.
Brad Webb, the young sophomore, the 3rd hitter of the inning for Highland. Webb's a .420 hitter. He's also one of their pitchers they go to. Webb, record-wise, pitching is 3-4 on the year with a .365 ERA. Coach Stecker said if a little bit of trouble happens today, we could see Webb on the mound. He pitched against the Pirates the first time, pitched against the Pirates the first time that Highland defeated the Pirates in the regular season 11-2. 1-1 to score, 2 outs, top of the second. And Webb looks at a ball. Runs the count to 2-0. What kind of pitching are you going to have back next year, Terry Turner?
Well, we've got 4 left-handers, so we'll be working really hard with them, trying to teach them to pitch. We won't have anybody that's going to overpower people, so we're going to have to work really hard on throwing strikes.
Webb hits a hard one down to second. Not able to pick it up is Jeremy Johnson. Couldn't find the handle. Kyle, he booted it. So I'd have to say you give him an error on that play. What do you think? I think official scorekeeper error, E4. He gets a consensus here. Base hit?
It would have been a pretty tough play. I think he was stretched out. I think he was stretched out to even put a glove on it.
Okay, so we give him graciously a hit. Got his mitt on it. Get your mitt on it, you make the play, right?
That's the way you like to think as a coach.
That's right. Well, at least that's the way I've seen you coach before, right, Kyle?
Yeah, we tend to we don't have the luxury of instant replay, so we feel like every ball should be caught. Terry also has had an exceptional pitcher this year that's been around, it seems like, forever. I know playing against them, it seems like he's played for about 6 years now in Brian Harris.
Yeah, Brian had a great senior season for us. He ended up 7-5. His earned run average is going to be under 2. I think he had something like 90-some strikeouts and 70-some innings, and he only walked 25 on the season. So I was kind of hoping I could push Brian for the All-Star team, but I don't know whether 7-5 record is going to be good enough to get him there or not.
1-1 to count. Batter is Johns. He grounds it down to third. And I think it's going to be a little bit late on the throw, and that's what the umpire says, too. Corey Moore flipped it over to Johnson covering, but not in time.
Main rule usually is if once you bobble a ball one time, your play's probably going to be at first base.
Now that was an error on the third baseman as he booted the ball, and the throw was a little bit late. Allows Webb to go to second, and on first with the error is Johnson. Now coming to the plate is Meeker.
Meeker hitting .244 on the year.
Meeker only a sophomore. Scots with runners on first and second. Score tied 1 apiece, top of the second inning. Delivered by Pratt as a called strike.
Pratt's going to have a lot more success if he can continue to get ahead of the hitters here a little bit.
Pratt working from the stretch. The couple Scott runners on. Here's Meeker hitting it back through the middle, and booting it is Hollowell. And there's an E6, a couple of back-to-back errors, is loaded to bases now for the Highland Scots. And the Scots are threatening once again, Kyle Campbell.
Yeah, that's the thing that you hate to get into, a situation where should have been out of the inning, and instead of being out of the inning, you only got one out with bases loaded.
The sacks are full, 2 outs. Scots threatening, they're back to the top of the order. Rick Huddleston. First time up, got a base on balls, and scored the Scots' first run. Pratt able to work from the full windup, got a called strike. Huddleston coming in here today with a .315 batting average. He's a center fielder, got good speed, and timeout called. How many stolen bases you have for Huddleston? I know he's up there.
Not really sure, Huddleston. Don't think we have that statistic on him.
Okay. I know he's been a speed merchant in the past for Coach Stecker. Huddleston hits it back to second, picked up by Johnson, flips to Hollowell covering, and the final out goes 4-6 on the force. But, well, I'll tell you, Ducks were on the pond for the Scots. They couldn't get him in. The Scots pick up 1 hit. They leave a couple on with errors. Actually, the base is loaded. And at the end of an inning and a half, the score tied at 1 apiece. Thanks to the fine folks at Subway in Cole's Shopping Plaza in North Broadway and Anderson. They fed the crew of TV40 today with delicious subs, chips, and drinks. Subway in Cole's Plaza and North Broadway and Anderson now offering the turkey sandwich, the Turkey Club sandwich, a 6-inch Subway sandwich for now $1.99. And we're ready to go with the bottom of the second inning. Stacy Scott, the first hitter. And he lines it out into straightaway center field. Back is Huddleston. Back. He's in trouble. It gets over his head. And it's going to at least get Scott a double. And he's going to try for 3. And he's going to be in there standing up. And I think Huddleston just misjudged that fly ball and how much it was carrying.
Exactly. It looked like he backed up and stopped and turned around thinking he was under the ball, and it just seemed to carry out. Mistakes like that made in this kind of a ballpark, and out turns into a triple real quick.
Coach Terry Turner, who joined us at the top of second inning, looking at the Pirates, they're a ball club that this year have used the hit and run quite a bit. They've not really hit the long ball a whole lot. What can you tell us about them from what you've seen?
Well, from what I've seen, you know, they struggle a little bit defensively. They hit the ball well, and they obviously have some very good pitching, but I think their defense let them down early in the season. And I know the night that we played them, we beat them 7-6, and we made a couple errors and allowed them to get a lead, and then they turned right around and helped us out by committing a couple errors and letting us back into it, and we ended up winning in the 8th inning on a wild pitch. So, but they're a sound ball club. Phil works real hard from start to finish, and that's why they're out there playing in this final game right now.
Counts 1-1 on Jeremy Johnson, the second batter. Down on third with the triple is Scott, and in the hole is Ollie Davis. Justin Yost, and Ollie Davis, the designated hitter. I was going to mention that Hollowell is probably their best pitcher, obviously. One of the better pitchers in the tournament.
Sure he is. And he pitched a very smart ball game today, too.
Counts 1-2 to the batter. That's Johnson, and he went after a third strike, and what do we got, foul ball? Yeah, foul ball.
One thing we might want to look here with the 7, 8, 9 hitters up for the Pirates is the possibility of a squeeze play.
Yeah, right now the infield's in. What Madison Heights wants to do here is slap it down on the ground, especially maybe to the right side.
Comes a 1-2 delivery. Swung on and hit out into left field. This is going to be at least
right
one.
down the left field line.
And that is a nice hit, nice piece of hitting there for the Pirates. Jeremy Johnson able to bring Scott in from third, so give Johnson the ribby, and that pushes the Pirate lead up to 2-1.
Shows you how good our coach's hair in the booth. We're looking for a bunt, a ground ball slap somewhere, and the kid just stands up and lines it down the left field line.
Coming up to the plate, I've got Yost, number 4, Justin Yost, only hitting .163 on the season. Checking the runner back is Shields. In there in plenty of time is Johnson.
Nobody out, bottom of the order. Again, you might want to look for a bunt or a possible stolen base, hit and run, something like that.
Now I look at the ERAs of the Scots. The best ERA is Carpenter with a 2.11. He pitched earlier today.
If you're going to win this tournament, you have to have two quality pitchers to do it, because you have to play these two games back-to-back here today.
Ball's low in the dirt for Shields. Counts 1-0. On deck, the designated hitter, Ollie Davis. He's the DH for Jake Scott, the first baseman today. Over at first is Johnson after driving in the go-ahead run. Here's the pitch, and it's called ball. 2-0. What do you think of the strike zone of home plate umpires so far, Kyle?
Well, I noticed, too, in the earlier games that he's worked behind the plate, he seems to favor the outside part of the plate. He'll give you a couple inches outside where he doesn't seem to give you much on the inside part.
Comes the delivery, and it's a called strike.
Right now, that's going to favor a kid like Shields with the breaking pitches, because he's been consistently on that outside half.
2-1 to count. Here comes the pitch, swung on and fouled out of play behind us. That'll level the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-1. The Pirates on top by virtue of a triple, leadoff triple from Stacy Scott, and then a single by Johnson that drove in the run. The batter is Yost. The 2-2 delivery. This one misses outside. Rides outside for ball 3.
One thing Shields does not want to do in this situation is walk this hitter, putting guys on first and second.
And the next pitch swung on, beat down to second, and trying to make the tag there was Carpenter. And as he made the tag, the ball come out of his mitt, and safe at second is Johnson. I just don't think down there at second, Carpenter had a good hold on that ball.
I think Carpenter, too, was thinking about the double play, putting a quick tag on the runner and going to first. In that kind of situation, you just want to make sure you get one out. This looks like it could be the start of a big inning maybe for the Pirates, with runners on first and second, nobody out in the top of their order getting ready to come up. Ollie Davis, too, possesses a great deal of speed. He may try to bunt for a hit and move the runners at the same time.
You've got the number 9 hitter up, so you've got to expect a bunt here.
Pretty good crowd on hand for the sectional championship. Ollie Davis lays down the bunt. It's a beautiful bunt. He bunted for a base hit, more of a drag bunt there. And no one was even in the neighborhood. Ollie Davis with some good wheels gets down to first.
The Pirates in definite trouble now with the top of the order coming up here. Bases loaded, nobody out.
Well, that was a beautiful bunt. Well, the Pirates already up 2-1. Stecker wants to go out and talk things over with his Scots. And while he does that, we'll let you know that Subway in Anderson, located in the Kohl's Shopping Plaza and on North Broadway in Anderson, offer the Turkey Club right now for $1.99. That's a 6-inch Turkey Club for $1.99 at Subway in the Kohl's Shopping Plaza in Anderson and also on North Broadway. And thanks for their fine food. The TV 40 crew pretty content out there running the cameras and inside the video truck. Dave Stride is our director today. 2-1 to score. Pirates on top. Bases are full. Nobody out. Shields trying to work out trouble here. And the first pitch, the Pike is high for a ball.
Pike reached base on a walk in the first inning. Comes in hitting .352.
Good looking young sophomore. Good hitter. Here comes the 1-0 delivery, and this misses low. Ball 2. Who's Coach Stecker got to go to if Shields gets in any more trouble, Kyle?
I think you'll see Webb, and I think you'll see probably a quick hook if something happens here. They don't get an out.
And it's a called strike on the outside corner. What about the Highland Scots, Coach Turner? What can you tell us about them this year when you faced them during the regular season?
Well, during the regular season, it was probably the type of pitch game that should have been today. We won the ball game 3-0. We scored 3 runs in the first inning, and Strage was pitching, and he shut us down from there. And Brian Harris pitched an outstanding game that day. So, but they are a very good hitting team, and that's been their tradition there since I've been around. They're a good, solid hitting team.
They're defending sectional champions too. 2-1 to count, and it rides outside for ball 3.
I think the one thing that Highland's missing this year that they've had for the last since I've been around is an overpowering pitcher. They're the same type of team that they've been for the last 5-6 years.
3-1 to count. Here comes Shields. Curveball swung on, lofted out, and this might be trouble. This might be a bleeder. It is. It drops behind the second baseman in front of the right fielder. 1 run comes home. That is Johnson coming home from third. Yost goes down to third. At second is Ollie Davis, and now at first is Pike with a little bleeder, I guess you'd call it, a Texas leaguer.
Coach Stecker gambling a little bit there, bringing his infield in. Instead of maybe playing back and try to getting a couple outs, maybe a double play ball, had his infield pulled in, trying to prevent another run, and that ball dropping in over the second baseman's head, who was pulled in.
Yeah, when you pull your infield in, you're gambling there, and if like you said right there, that pop-up's probably caught if the infield's back, but it's tough to make a right decision when you're in that situation, because you don't want to give any more runs up than what you've got here right now.
Exactly. 1-0 the count. Base is still full for the Pirates. Nobody out. And this one swung on by Hensley and hit out into left center field for a base hit. Beautiful throw by Huddleston. But still, the Pirates pick up another run. Coming home from third is Yost. Down to third is Ollie Davis. At second is Pike, and Hensley after that hit is at first.
Coach Stecker coming out to the mound. Looks like we may have a pitching change.
Okay, and Coach Bob Stecker motions to left fielder, and I said before we might see Brad Webb, and he's going to come on. He got the win against the Pirates in the regular season, 11-2. He's a pitcher of record. Young sophomore going to come in, and I can tell you a little bit about Webb's pitching so far on the season. Brad Webb, a sophomore, has an ERA of 3.65. He's 3-4 on the season. Let's see what else we've got from Mr. Brad Webb. 36 innings pitched, allowed 38 runs, 39 hits, 31 earned runs, 20 bases on balls, 29 strikeouts, and a record of 3-4. Young sophomore Brad Webb on the hill.
Left-handed too, Brad, left-handed pitcher. Makes a big difference in high school. Seems like an average left-handed pitcher will prevent a lot of things from happening too on the base, holding the runners closer, things like that. You're not apt to steal as many bases off a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. As a coaching staff, if you get a kid that's left-handed, you want to immediately teach him to pitch. He may not have the velocity of a right-handed pitcher. Maybe it's just that kids aren't used to seeing a left-hander or the ball breaking in on them. But I don't know what it is about left-handed pitching. But I know one thing: it drives our hitters crazy. And all he has to do is be around the plate and change speeds a little bit.
Pirates on top, 4-1. They picked up 3 runs in this inning. 4 hits this inning for the Pirates and 1 error that's manufactured 3 of their 4 runs in this inning.
And the man at the plate that you least like to see with bases loaded is Todd Hollowell.
That's right. He's a .479 hitter. First time he flew out to the center fielder.
On a ball that may have been out of a lot of ballparks in high school.
Way out there. And this delivery is a called strike, and this time umpire gives him the inside corner.
Gave him the inside part there.
Left-handed pitcher.
Breaking down and in, that one was. Here's the curveball, and this one misses. Brings the count to 1-1.
He seems to have switched up on us a little bit, maybe on his plate coverage.
Pitcher, different strike zone here.
Yeah. This one's hit right back to the pitcher. Webb with a throw right down the middle. Catcher couldn't come up with it, and 2 runs are going to score. And that was a perfect strike to the plate by the pitcher Webb, and the catcher for the Highland Scots, Meeker, just didn't come up with it. Just what to do? Skip off the webbing of his glove?
I think so. I think it's the same situation maybe that Carpenter had on that double play ball up the middle. Probably thinking about throwing it before he caught it.
That's exactly what was going on. Meeker, you could see him turning to make the throw to first before he caught the ball and took his eye off of it.
A 2-run score on that play for the Madison Heights Pirates, and they're up 6-1. Here's Webb with the delivery, and it's called strike on the inside corner. I mean, that was a perfect strike from Webb.
Oh, Taylor made double play ball.
Into Meeker, and all Meeker had to do was catch it and wheel and throw to first. But didn't, I don't know, he just took his eye off it. Here's a wild pitch by Webb, and this will bring another run home in the form of Hensley. And Hollowell will go down to third, and the Pirates are definitely having a feast offensively in this inning as they picked up 6 runs already.
And there's still nobody out.
Yeah. Ed Hamilton, the official score, said it all started with a misread fly ball to center field by Huddleston. It ended up being a triple. Comes the delivery, swing and a miss. Got away from McGuire, but he's able to track it down. No advancement from the runner at third, Hollowell.
Right now, at this point, I'm sure Coach Nykirk is telling Hollowell to take no chances. He's at third base with nobody out. Can score on just about anything hit here. Anything into the outfield, a base hit or a fly ball scoring.
Comes the 1-2 offering. Swung on, hit down to the shortstop. Picked up there by John. Slips over to first. They go 6-3 for Checkett, the first out of the inning. As Pratt goes 6-3 on the out. Corey Moore coming up now.
Number 15, Corey Moore.
Moore, first time up, Kyle. He grounded back to the pitcher, and pitcher went to first, 1-3. 0 for 1 is Moore.
Right, Moore hitting 207. The Pirates' batting average is really tail off after their number 4 hitter.
This ball's low in the dirt for ball 1.
They don't seem to have too much trouble producing runs today, though.
Run out of room on the old column. I'm going to have to start up another column for the second inning here. As the Pirates have batted around this inning. Webb swung on, hit by Moore down to third. He checks the runner back, fires it over to first. So they go 5-3 for out number 2. And now coming up is Stacy Scott, and it seems like a long time ago, guys, he led this one off with a triple.
Right. So there's another situation where the gamble paid off, having your infield pull in there. First ground ball to the shortstop, if he was playing back, would have scored the run. If the third baseman's not on the grass there, they might have had a chance to score that runner at third.
2 outs, 7-1 Pirates. A slow breaking curveball by Webb fools the hitter Stacy Scott. Swung right through that one. Scott 1 for 1. He started this inning off, it seems like a long time ago. Comes Webb's delivery, swung on, hit down to shortstop. Going to be a tough play. Long throw, good stretch. Nice play by Johns on the fire over to McGuire with a nice stretch. It goes 6-3 to end the inning, but not before the Madison Heights Pirates pick up 6 runs on 1.
The sound of.
Okay, the first hitter in the top of the third for the Highland Scots, Scott Shields, then Kyle Browning and Brad McGuire. Pratt with a 6-run lead. First one swung on and lined out into center field by Scott Shields, so he leads it off with a base hit in the top of third for the Highland Scots, trying to get the Scots a little bit motivated here as they trail by 6.
One of maybe the biggest key in this game. This game could be won or lost right here in this half of an inning. So many times you get a big lead, if you can come right back and shut the other team down, kind of takes the wind out of their sails for the rest of the game.
Here comes the pitch to Browning, and it's called ball.
And then on the other hand, if Highland can scrape together 3 or 4 runs here, they have the confidence of being right back in the game.
1-0 the count. Here comes Pratt's delivery, swung on, foul back here to the screen. Now leaving the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Browning rounded out second to first his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Kyle Browning, right fielder, hitting .285 on the season for the Scots. Shields, good lead over at first. It's swung on by Browning, lofted out in right center field. Out there drawing a beat on it and making the catch is Stacy Scott. For out number 1, it'll be Brad McGuire. McGuire, the first baseman, hitting .350, 0 for 1 so far today. I think the Scots got to come back with a couple runs here. Don't you, Terry? In a situation like this, they're going to need a little offense.
You have a lot of ball game left, you know, and they proved today that they're going to fight and scratch all the way through, so it would certainly help here.
Ball hit foul just down the third base line. Smart play by the catcher, let roll foul, Kyle.
Yes, and one thing about this Anderson University field, if you can get a bunt or a slow roller on the grass part of the infield, it'll stay.
It just went off of the grass, and once it hit the dirt, you could tell it was going toward the foul line. 0-1 to count, 1 out. Scots have Shields down at first base. Top half of the third inning. Pirates on top 7-1. Here comes Pratt's delivery, and this one is a called strike.
See, something Madison Heights wouldn't want to do is now that they have the big lead, and Kyle can probably tell you that I know a lot of times our kids have gotten a big lead like that, and then they relax. They don't finish the job. So, you know, Madison Heights doesn't want to let down right now.
Comes Pratt with the delivery, and this one is high for a ball.
It's very important after a big inning to try to come right back and shut the other team down right away.
All right out there, Jim. Take your time.
1-2 the count, 1 out. Shields on first. Pratt with the delivery, and it's a called strike on the outside corner.
Way to pitch, Jim. Way to pitch.
Dwyer looking at a called third strike on the outside corner. That'll bring up Strege so far today. Strage's 0 for 1.
Flew out his first time up, I believe. Strege hitting .365.
Now he popped it straight behind second where Hollowell made the catch. The shortstop made the catch behind second. Shields still over there at first. Strege the batter. Comes Pratt's delivery. This one misses. I guess it was a little high. We'll see here at the bottom of the inning if Coach Jim Hazen will set in for a little while with us. What about it, Jim? Jim Hazen, the associate coach at Anderson University of the Ravens. This time, Strege hits it right back to the pitcher. Pratt goes to first as he tosses it over to Jake Smith, and that'll end the top of the third inning. And after 2.5 full, it's 7-1. The Madison Heights Pirates still on top.
The sound.
Okay, we move to the bottom of the third inning, and right now the Pirates are in the driver's seat, 7-1 over the Highland Scots. Jeremy Johnson, a leadoff hitter for the Pirates in the bottom of the third. Coach Jim Hazen, associate coach of the Anderson University Ravens, has joined us now. And Jim, what do you think so far of this ball game with a big inning from the Pirates back in the second? It's catapulted them to a 7-1 lead.
Well, we preach pitching and defense. And so, you know, defense has kind of let Highland down at this point in time with that big 6-run inning.
Counts 1-1 on the batter. That's Jeremy Johnson. He's 1 for 1 so far. Had a single back in the second, that big productive inning for the Pirates. This time he flies out to right field. That's Kyle Browning making the catch out there. Now, defense certainly was not there for Highland in that second inning. They went through a bad stretch of errors, and not only that, some good hitting. They had 5 hits, the Pirates did in that second inning.
5 hits, but again, Madison Heights really didn't hit the ball that hard. They just put the ball in places where Highland wasn't, so it was effective for them.
Well, what do you tell them at Anderson University baseball camp? Try to put the ball in play so the defense can play?
Exactly. With your bases loaded like that, you want to put the ball in play.
So many things can happen when the ball's in play, and you get things moving. 7-1 to score. You here looking at anybody in the sectional this week, Jim?
Oh, we're looking all the time, so...
I can't believe it. The left fielder just fell asleep out there and tried to squeeze the routine fly ball, and he dropped it.
Not a typical day for the Highland Scots. Usually Highland very good on defense. That's what's won them, I think, 3 consecutive
16 errors today so far in 3 games in a section.
Well, not even quite 3 games. We're 2 games and 2 innings, 2.5 innings, and 16 errors so far. So.
Well, the runner's on first thanks to the error by left fielder, and they hit one back to left field. This one's back in the corner. And he dropped this one too. And boy, I'll tell you,
That's tough play going back on the ball like that, but we're going to expect that ball to be caught right there.
Yeah. 2 straight errors by the left fielder. Give him a hit. The official scorekeeper is going to be gracious once again and give him a hit on that one, even though it was a mid on the ball. When they made the switch and Webb came in to pitch, I didn't pick up the number of the young man out in left field. Is that Strage out there? Well, he's had a tough way to go this inning.
Again, high school baseball being such that you don't bring a pitcher in from the bullpen, you bring your left fielder in and put your third baseman in left and things like that. So I don't know how many innings Strage has had out there in left field. Got him definitely out of position, and Madison Heights has been able to pick on him so far.
Now back-to-back they picked on him in this inning. That's where both Pirate runners have come from, hitting the ball to left field, and the left fielder Strage dropping the, especially the first one was a routine fly ball. And this one is hit out into right field, and it's going to have eyes and drop in there, and that's going to load the bases up for the Pirates.
It's about their third or fourth hit like that.
Yeah, that was Pike.
Last 2 innings.
That was Pike that time. They got that, what'd you call it, a bleeder, a Texas leaguer, or
Texas
what?
leaguer, bleeder, blooper, tweener.
Yeah. Dinker.
Hitting them where they ain't.
Yeah. Seeing eye single.
Exactly, but again, you got to give Madison Heights credit. They're putting the bat on the ball, and they're making something happen. They're just putting the ball into play. Nothing hit hard, nothing spectacular, but they're putting it in play.
And it really hasn't been the dinks that have hurt as much as the 2 guys that got on the air before the dink.
And there's a pitch, and missing for ball 1.
Once again, Highland's infield pulled in on the grass.
They're in trouble again with only 1 out and the bases loaded. And the next delivery to Hensley is fouled off out of play. Well, it's tough to try to work yourself out of a hole inning after inning, guys.
Exactly. Now, Highland, I have to give Highland pitchers credit. They've been doing their job as far as throwing strikes, and that's not a lot of walks. They've been throwing strikes, getting ahead of the count some. So they're not doing bad. They're doing their job.
2-1 to count on the batter. That is Steve Hensley. Webb gets Hensley to go after a high pitch. It's fouled off, but caught by Meeker for strike 2. Drawn in the infield. A sharply hit ball is going to get through there, guys. 2-2 the count, 1 out. Slow curve ball swung on. Hit out to left fielder. That is Strage, and he missed it on the dive. And this is going to bring 1 run home. Ollie Davis is going to round third and come home. And I'll bring in 2 runs and a run to score up to 9-1 Pirates.
I'd really be surprised, John, if you look back during the regular season of Strage has seen much time out in left field. He doesn't look real comfortable out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that time he, to his credit, made a great effort because that ball was hit a little bit to the right-hand side of him. He did the best he could to try to get to it.
He stretched out there. He was playing toward the line as far as positioning-wise.
Doesn't look like he's real confident right now on his first step jump.
On the jump.
And guess who's back up there? Number 14, Todd Hollowell, 479 hitter, and scoring now 9-1. Webb tries to hit the outside corner, and he does. We got to wait kind of a long time for this umpire, James Robinson, to make that call, that hesitated strike call. Next one low in the dirt. Nice stop there by Meeker.
But John, I want to give him credit. He's calling the strikes. We just don't like umpires that stand back there and ball after ball, anything close. We like, pitchers around the plate, umpires call strikes. That makes the offense swing the bat. It just makes for a better baseball game.
Exactly. 1-1 to count. Swung on by Hollowell, lofted, and the infield drawn in. Long run for Carpenter. He gets it for out number 2, and that was hit up high enough so Carpenter allowed Carpenter to get under and make the catch.
Right, almost flirted there with another Texas leaguer. Now the infield can move back and play in their normal spots.
2 outs, 2 runs in this inning for the Pirates. They've got 2 so far here in the third. They picked up 6 in the second and 1 in first. So the Pirates have scored in every inning so far. 9-1.
Jim Pratt up now, another exceptional hitter for the Pirates.
That was the first pitch by Webb, and it's a called strike.
There's that outside strike.
Come on, Jim. We got a good one.
Comes Webb's next delivery, swung on, grounded to shortstop, picked up there, long throw, and they go 6-3 to end the inning. As Johns goes McGuire to end the inning, but not before the Pirates are able to pick up 2 more runs. 2 runs on 3 hits that inning for the Pirates, and the score after 3 full is the Madison Heights Pirates 9, Anderson Highland Scots 1. We're back after these messages.
The sound of dripping water.
Moving to the top half of the 4th inning, and this Highland Scott Ball Club trailing 9-1, Kyle Campbell. As we move into the 4th, it'll be Carpenter, the leadoff hitter, followed by Webb and Johns. Pratt still on the hill for the Madison Heights Pirates. First pitch, called strike on the outside corner.
What Highland's got to do is try to straighten and claw for maybe 2 or 3 runs an inning here the rest of the way out, and try to shut Madison Heights offense down.
This one swung on, hit down to the shortstop. It's picked up there by Hollowell. He flips over to first, and Carpenter goes out 6-3. Going to bring up Webb, a 420 hitter so far today. Webb is 1 for 1.
Webb coming into the year hitting .474.
Field looks nice today, Kyle Campbell.
Sure does, always does. I know Coach Brandon and Coach Hazen and all the Ravens put a lot of hard work and a lot of time into it.
We're going to be talking to Coach Brandon here at the end of this next half inning. Coach Hazen's going to relinquish the mic and give it over to Coach Brandon.
That may be a mistake.
Might be a mistake, you think, Coach Hazen? Yeah, it's a called strike on the outside corner. Well, you get all your jabs in you can now, Associate Coach Jim Hazen of AU, because Coach Brandon is waiting in the wings for his chance. Of course, he still owes me some dive backs for being late for the Ravens baseball show this year.
Coach's show.
Yeah, after the coach's show.
Once we give Coach Brandon the mic, we may have a hard time getting it out of his hand.
Oh, I know. He's going to tell us who he's looking for to fill his roster next year, right, Coach Brandon? What do you think, Jimmy? Is he going to tell us who he's looking for next year's Raven Baseball Club?
Good luck.
What positions he's got to fill?
Look, most of them, that's right. After a few things we had to deal with this year.
Counts 3-1. Here comes the delivery, and this one's a called strike right down the heart of the plate. That'll run it to full on Webb, a 420 hitter. So far, he's 1 for 1 today. There's a full count pitch, and it's a little low for ball 4.
That's what Highland needs to do. They're looking for base runners right now, try to get something going.
That's right. One thing you don't want to do in that situation, you're ahead 9-1. Make him put the ball into play. Make him hit the ball. So just throw strikes.
Tom Johns, boy, what a great pitcher. Kind of his namesake, Tommy Johns, was. Wasn't he a great one?
Yes, he was.
He lasted for a long time.
Long time. Tommy, I heard him say that anytime he threw over 80, he wasn't effective. You know, kind of from a scouting standpoint, they're looking at the gun, they're looking at the fastball, etc. But whenever Tommy John got above 80, his ball flattened out a little bit and didn't get the movement. So he wanted to be around 78, 79, 77, change speeds.
They said he could make the ball dance.
Yes, he could.
And here's Johns this time lining it down the right field line. It breaks away into foul territory. And it's probably going to bring a runner home.
Rolled under the fence.
Rolled under the fence, so he's going to have to go back to third and down at first. And he kind of gimping. I don't know, he turned the corner and sprained the ankle or what, but Johns come around that bag and he come up lame.
Right now, as the umpire goes out to check the ball, he ought to be circling the bases.
That is one of the few areas on this field that the ball can leave the park. It's a double entrance gate where we can get semis in, etc., and there's just a small place that the ball can roll out. But pretty much other than that, it's an enclosed ballpark.
I played here for 2 years and have been coaching in this sectional for 6 years now and have never seen a ball leave the park.
I say it's a rarity when the ball leaves the park like that and you get a ground rule double.
Well, all the years I've broadcast on radio or TV, I've never seen a ball get out of the confines of this place that way.
No, it's like I said, it's a rarity. That's one of the few places. There's a couple of places right by the dugout that's about a foot wide that you can squeeze through, but everything else, the fencing is down in the ground. and it won't leave the park.
Looks too like Johns may have suffered a sprained ankle or twisted knee. Tripped over the first base on his way down there.
Evidently, I was watching the ball as it rolled down in the outfield, and I didn't see how he rounded the bag.
He came around the bag, and it looked like he stepped over the top of it, and the heel hit the corner pointing toward right field. It kind of come down wrong on the leg.
Right.
And like it kind of buckled a little bit under him.
Well, this is what Highland has to do. They just have to put, again, just in essence what Madison Heights has been doing, put the ball into play, make something happen, make your defense, make the play.
Try to maybe get 2 or 3 runs an inning instead of, a lot of times what happens is you press and try to get it all back at once, and they need to get base runners and score a few runs every inning.
Meeker with a couple runners in scoring position up at the plate. Looks like called strike. And for Meeker so far, first time up, he reached on an error. Well, Scott's got an opportunity here to put some runs on the board if Meeker can deliver, and he looks at called strike 2.
Come right back, get 2 straight strikes. That's what, again, you're up by 8, throw the strikes.
Madison Heights catcher's lined up about 3 yards outside there.
Yeah,
Trying to get Meeker to chase one.
Pratt misses outside with that pitch. Runs the count to 1-2. Pratt takes a long time in between pitches to get his sign from Yost. Here comes the delivery. High for ball. This count to 2-2. There's only 1 out, so the Scots are trying to get something going here.
Right, you don't want to fall behind to the 9-hitter when you're up 8 runs. Pratt just needs to throw strikes here.
Comes a 2-2 delivery, and swung on and missed by Meeker, and Pratt certainly, that's a big strikeout for him.
That was a good pitch. That was, he worked the count 2-2, but came right back with a good fastball on the outside corner out. Make him swing the bat. Excuse me.
Top of the order coming up. Rick Huddleston so far today, he walked in the first inning, reached on a fielder's choice in the second. This pitch by Pratt. You know, Pratt flirts with danger, but it seems like when he gets behind the count, he's always able to work himself back into it.
Right. Again, the pitchers have been throwing strikes today, in essence. I know the first 2 runs came off walks. Madison Heights led off with a walk, Highland led off with a walk, and those 2 runs scored. But other than that, there haven't been a lot of base on balls.
1-1 to count, 2 outs.
One of the cardinal sins of baseball, walking the leadoff hitter.
Exactly. It always comes back to haunt you, and most of the time they're going to score when you walk that leadoff hitter.
I'll tell you what, I tell my kids in Little League, I said, we cannot defense a walk, guys. Try to throw strikes, let them hit the ball. Good things will happen if you play defense.
Exactly, and again, that's why I said when I first came on, we just talk and preach pitching, throwing strikes, and the good defense.
Comes a 2-1 delivery from Pratt.
We don't mind hitting the ball once in a while, but
2-2 the count, 2 outs, 2 runners on for the Scots. They trail 9-1. They're trying to get something going here in the top of the 4th. And Huddleston feels that Pratt takes too long, so he's going to walk over, stretch out a little bit, get back in there. Still plenty of game left, guys, though.
top of 4.
Comes the pitch, and this one misses. Runs the count to full.
Yeah, that's your leadoff hitter. He's working the count, trying to get his pitch, something that he can drive. You got 2 runners in scoring position.
Here comes the full count delivery from Pratt. Swung on by Huddleston. Hit out into center, but drawing a beat out there, and it's right to him. The service to Hensley for out number 3 on the fly out from Huddleston. And now, as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning, the score still remains 9-1. The Pirates on top, and the Scots lead. The bases loaded there in the top of the 4th. We're back after these messages.
The sound of dripping.
Okay, Subway in the Cole Shopping Plaza, North Broadway and Anderson, taking care of the TV 40 crew here for the ball game, providing a fine meal for us. And don't forget, at Cole's Subway and North Broadway Subway in Anderson, they're now offering a 6-inch turkey club for only $1.99 at Subway of
Those
Anderson.
things are great. I will say that. I eat those quite a bit.
Well, no doubt about it.
I'll tell you what John did, Coach. He told me to be here at 4:30 and had those Subways here at 4.
I didn't get one.
I didn't either.
Well, it's for the TV crew.
I see.
Okay? You're just going to have to remember to get here earlier next week for the regional. Okay, first 3 hitters for the Scots. In the top of the 5th, Scott Shields, Kyle Browning, Brad McGuire. Going all the way so far is Pratt, and this time the curveball misses for ball 1.
Highland again, just looking for base runners. They've got to get some people on base.
9-1 to score. Pirates in command. Called strike. Of course, you know Coach Brandon Subway was a fine sponsor of Raven baseball this year.
Yes, they were. I did notice that. But I was already eating those turkey subs before they even sponsored us, I'll tell you that.
Okay. I'll tell you, Coach Hazen was picking on you up here. Of course, you didn't hear. You were down there doing some scouting. He called you Bama.
It won't be the first time I've been picked on, I'll tell you that. Kyle Campbell's even gotten in his legs before.
I've got a few in, I think.
Yeah. 3-1 they count. 3 balls, 1 strike to Scott Shields. So far, Shields 2 for 2 today. A couple base hits. He's got 2 of their 4 hits, matter of fact. And a called strike. And we're going to count to full at 3-2.
Well, I know, John, I think...
Go ahead, finish your statement.
Well, I think, well, you go ahead. I'll tell you here in a minute.
All right, flying out is Shields to the center fielder. Making catch out there is Hensley. Go ahead with your thought.
I just think that Highland won a very emotional game against Anderson High School, and I thought they were fired at fever pitch all the way up down the lineup. And, you know, and I think that's pretty tough with a short period of time, you know, to come back with the same kind of intensity that they had. I don't see the same intensity in this game that I saw in the morning game against Anderson High School.
Right, and if you look at the 2 teams' records coming into the tournament, Madison Heights 9-15. Highland might have gotten their heads that they had the tournament won by winning that first game.
Well, they're young players, and doesn't mean anything negative. It just means that as long as I've coached, I know how difficult it is to control the emotional part and the intensity and the momentum. And yes, you can be very high in baseball. I think it's very, very tough. You know, there's to keep that same intensity.
Well, so far the count runs to 3-0 on the batter Kyle Browning. It's just the Scots have not been able to manufacture anything offensively at all.
Nothing offensively, and it hasn't been as pretty as what I'm sure they've been used to defensively either. You know, they've opened some floodgates for Madison Heights, put them in a hole.
Here's Pratt's 3-1 delivery, and not this time, Kyle. Umpire James Robinson calls a strike on the outside corner.
And
He's
Pratt,
still hesitant on that call.
Yeah, and Pratt is a sophomore here. I mean, he's a 9-1 lead, and he's doing what you want a pitcher to do when he's got a good lead. He keeps throwing the strikes.
Browning hit it down to third. Moore with a bad toss over to first, and Browning's going to end up on second.
The good news for Highland is that they do have a base runner. The bad news is that I'm sure any kind of little run they make, Mr. Hollowell may come in. We're at that point in the game now.
Yeah, he did have a good game today against Elwood, I tell you. How many strikeouts did he have in that game?
I believe Hollowell struck out 15 in the first game.
Yeah, Elwood was a free swinging bunch and really hit well against Franklin on Monday, and really swung freely today. And
just tear old Kyle's
just rubbing it in.
Just rub it into Kyle.
Boy, they do.
But they were swinging that away. But Hollowell, I'm telling you, I think Elwood swung at some pitches that were those slurs or curves or whatever he threw today that were 2 feet outside. And they were offering.
1 out, 1 runner on for the Scots here in the top of the 5th. Hit down the shortstop. It's picked up there by the shortstop Hollowell, and he fires a strike over to first.
Of course, right now, I don't think Pratt's going to need any help if he keeps throwing the strikes.
Yeah. Hollowell still, again, showing how much strength he has still left in that arm after pitching 9 innings and playing 5 at short today.
And we got Jay McFall for the first time today. He went in for Strage after Strage had a tough inning defensively. And I'm going to pick up McFall's stats here in just a second. McFall, I've got him batting 200 on the season. 6 hits, 5 runs scored, 30 times at bat. Only a sophomore. A good basketball player, Pratt, too, for the Madison Heights Pirates. Good athlete, good all-around athlete. And his delivery high for ball 1.
I believe that's how Pratt suffered his wrist injury. Was attempting a slam dunk, I think.
Yeah, he can certainly do it.
Rumors are that he missed.
Oh. You and I, we've never got that high, so we don't have to worry about that.
I got the bottom of the net once.
Okay. I got the bottom of the rim once. 2-1 to count. 2 outs. Runner on second for the Scots. Big 9-1 lead for the Pirates of Madison Heights. Swung on and missed by McFall.
John, you mentioned the beauty of the field and everything, and we just at Anderson University, Coach Hayes and I and the players really love to provide the very best for these young men, and we run the walk and sprinklers. Whoever wins this game will play on the field just like this next week. We'll run the walk and sprinklers. We haven't been getting much rain, but you know, you look out the field and it's very green. And that's because we keep the water on it.
2-2 the count. Excuse me, 3-2 the count. Full count. 2 outs. Comes the pitch from Pratt. Swung on and line out into left field. It's picked up out there by Pike. Actually by him, and ending up at second will be McFall with the what you got? Base hit in an air.
Hitting an air.
Yeah, hitting an air.
Yep.
Scoring the run. Browning. It's only the second run of the ball game for the Scots, guys.
Bringing Carpenter up to the plate also. Carpenter probably Highland's best hitter.
That's coming from a Franklin coach. You're saying Carpenter's probably their best hitter?
Probably their best hitter.
Well, average-wise.
Average-wise, 435.
Yeah, that's right. He's got the best average on the team, Coach Brandon.
Well, I'm not going to dispute Kyle.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
I don't know what's stopping him today.
He's a rookie doing his color. You know, of course, we got him off the golf course today to do the color because my boss, Dennis Casey, the sports director, couldn't make it today, so we had to recruit Kyle to do it. Had to get him off the links.
I think it was actually they asked about 7 other guys before and then they finally got to me. I think.
Kyle Campbell? Who? No. Here we go. And this pitch misses also 2-0 on the batter. That's Matt Carpenter. He's 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out twice, shortstop to first.
Carpenter also the winning pitcher, I believe, in the first game for Highland today.
Yeah, he pitched a good game. Sure did.
Next pitch, called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's a good athlete. He's just a junior this year, right?
Right.
Very good defensive player, too.
The pitch by Pratt, swung on, and this is going to be trouble. Speedy Carpenter is going to leg it out, and that's going to leave Scott runners on the corners.
Smart play by the third baseman there. A lot of younger players would have grabbed that ball and tried to force something at first base when I don't think he would have had anything there.
That's absolutely right, Kyle. It's a good observation. You're still up 9-2. The last thing in the world you want to do is throw the ball down the right field line when you don't even have a chance at getting a guy. It's a smart play.
Sophomore pitcher Brad Webb, 420 hitter now coming up. Good young ball player here in Brad Webb. Webb so far today, base on balls and a single. Officially, he's 1 for 1. He looks at a called strike.
It always confuses me, though, when a young man throws left-handed and bats right.
Isn't that something? I've got, at Franklin High School, I've got 3 of those kids. I've got 3 left-handed pitchers that all bat right-handed.
Comes the pitch.
Well, that must be in the water out there at Franklin or something. I don't understand that.
I think they all had older brothers who taught them how to hit, and they were right-handed.
Yeah. What about the right-handed pitcher that bats left?
Wish I could find some.
Yeah.
That's fine. That makes sense to me. But
Not the other way, huh?
no.
All right, here's Pratt with the delivery, and it's low in the dirt for a ball. I run to count to 1 ball, 2 strikes, and
I know it happens. It just doesn't make baseball sense to me. But
9-2 to score. Pirates on top. Top half of the 5th inning. Here comes a pitch swung on by Webb, hit down to second, and he boots it. The second baseman booted. The 3rd run scores. Runner from second's going to go to 3rd on the air. Webb's going to end up at 1st. In to score is McFall, and down to 3rd will go Carpenter. And I think that the second baseman out there for the Pirates, Jeremy Johnson, took his eye off the ball when he was looking at the runner passing by.
It was extremely close to being the ball hitting the runner there, going to second. And the runner and the ball arrived just about at the same time with the fielder trying to make the play.
Now this one's a long way from over.
Well, what do we got? The runners on the corner?
Yeah, runners on the corner, 2 out. 9-3, Pirates still up by 6.
Stranger things have happened, and I know you guys have probably already dogged us about the Anderson and DePaul game, and it's
Yeah,
the championship game.
Coach Brandon's team was up, I believe, what, 9-0?
That's enough.
9-0, Coach Brandon. And
Just go.
Lost
Let's just talk
10-9.
about something else. That's correct.
Can we show that on the screen? No, I'm just kidding, Coach. And that's yesterday.
I'm laughing, but kind of a little nervous laugh, as you notice.
Sure. Those are tough ones to lose. And of course, that conference tournament you guys had.
Yeah, but the point is though that this game is far from being over. I mean, so
you can't relax, because the minute you do, the other team's going to come back and get you. A lot of things can happen with 2 outs, right, guys?
And a lot of things have. I think they scored both runs now with 2 outs.
Yeah. Here's Tom Johns, who's a pretty good hitter. And he looks at a call.
He was the one that hit the shot to left field last time up.
Right.
That's right. He got a double.
John's coming in with a 311 batting average. Highland's
320 I've got him for.
The bottom half of Highland's order is very, very comparable to the top half.
Well, here's a big at bat for Highland, I've got to believe. 0-2 the count on Tom Johns. Scots have runners on the corners. Webb down at 3rd, and at 1st is, and this one is high for a ball. Webb's down at 1st, and at 2nd is Carpenter. Or excuse me, at 3rd is Carpenter. Who's on 1st?
What's on second?
What's on 2nd? We'll get her. Okay, runners on the corners for the Scots. Here's a pitch called strike on the outside corner. Got him looking at it.
There's that outside part of the plate.
Let's pitch.
Okay, here we go. 2 runs for the Scots in the top half of the 5th inning on 2 hits. 2 runs, 2 hits. So after 4.5, it's the Madison Heights Pirates 9, Madison Highland Scots 3. We're back after these messages.
The sound of dripping water.
Leading off with the Madison Heights Pirates in the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be Justin Yost and then Ollie Davis. In the top of the order, Chad Pike. And the first pitch is a ball to Yost. So far today, Mr. Yost, he's reached both times on errors, Kyle.
Right. Down the bottom of their order, too, has been pretty much a key. That the bottom half of the order getting on base to supply the top half with some base runners.
Well, it counts 1 ball, 1 strike on Yost. Webb still on the hill in relief of Shields. And a called strike. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Joining us now is the Anderson American Legion baseball coach, and does a fine job here with the Anderson American Legion. John Miles will chat at him here in a second as Yost looks at a ball high inside. He does the count 2-2. John Miles, thanks a lot for taking time out to come up and talk to us.
Well, hey, John, thanks for having me up here. Pleasure.
Well, I know you're probably looking for players for the Anderson American Legion Hockett post this year, right?
I sure am, and you know what? That's not very far off.
Nope, not at all. When's your season start?
A week from Monday, June the 13th. Then we're off and run on about a 50-game schedule, plus the tournaments, plus the state tournament we're going to have.
You're going to be hosting the American Legion State Tournament here in Anderson.
That's right, on August 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Okay. A lot of great baseball being played here in Indiana this year. Carmel, Indiana is hosting the 16-year-old Babe Ruth World Series.
Oh, is that right?
I talked to Wayne Wilson from down at Carmel the other day, and he told me about it.
That's great. That's great.
Webb's next delivery, fouled off by Yost once again. How many kids you got from last year's Legion returning, and what kind of holes you trying to fill this year?
Well, you know, for some injuries and a couple other reasons, we've only got about 6 kids back from last year's team. So, you know, pretty well have to go all the way around the field to plug her up. But you know what? We've got a good team. We've went out and all spring and looked at several ball players, and of course we left behind some that probably could have played with us. But I think we're real happy with what we've got, and I think we'll have an outstanding team.
Yost grounds out third to first, round number 1. I know you know Coach Miles here, don't you, Kyle Campbell?
Coach Miles has coached several of our Franklin players in the past. I think Brent Mallory's going to be playing for him this summer.
Great ball player.
Who's going to be your coaching staff again this year?
Well, I got the same ones. Have Dan Ball back with me. Of course, Dan has been with me for 10 or 15 years, and Joe Walker, and Bill Carpenter, and same guys I had last year. Good baseball people.
That is an outstanding play by the Highland third baseman. Davis possessing a great deal of speed. I didn't even think he should have thrown the ball and got him by a step.
I believe that was Stragey down third, wasn't it? Who's down third? Shields, I'm sorry. Shields, a great defensive play and a great stretch over first base to get to Speedy Ollie Davis. You're right. He's not one kid you're going to throw out too often.
No, that was a great play.
You know, I tried to get, John, I tried to get Don Brandon to come over and help me coach, but he said that he's a little out of his league. He didn't want to do that, so. What did you say? Don and I have been great friends for a long time. Matter of fact, I don't even want to count how many years we go back, Don.
Well, the batter of record right now is Chad Pike, and Pike so far today is 2 for 2 and a base on balls. And this time, Shields takes away his shot at 3 for 3 as Pike lines out to the third baseman over there, Shields, and that'll end 5 innings of play with the Pirates still on top 9 to 3 over the Scots.
The sound of dripping.
Top half of the 6th inning, we've got a pinch hitter, Ryan Morgan, batting .400. Right now, Ryan's got a 1-1 count on him. It'll be Morgan in the top of the order for the Scots here in the top of the 6th. This one fouled off right behind us.
Morgan in to supply a little offense. Highland's running out of innings here, and they've got to get something going here in the last 2.
So 6 kids returning to the Anderson American Legion program. Your pitching's pretty solidified with Harris and Humphreys, right?
Harris, Humphreys, and Hollowell. I tell you what, there's
the H's.
I don't think there's any 3 better pitchers around than what those kids are.
1-2 the count. To Morgan, he hits this one a mile high in the air to left field, and over there drawing a beat on it is Pike for the out. So you got 3 solid pitchers. What about your battery? What about your catchers?
Catchers probably is our weakest point this year. There's just not too many quality catchers around, but we've got a couple. We've got Adam Meeker, and we got a kid from Pendleton Heights named of Human that is good, so we'll be all right. We're not worried.
So you're talking about 50 games, obviously Carmel, Indianapolis, Muncie, Lafayette. Who am I missing?
Well, you're Seymour, Richmond, Carmel, Kokomo. We played Muncie. Muncie's always tough. Beech Grove.
And Huddleston looks at a ball. Runs the count to 2-1.
That's right, Bob. Richmond.
2-1 to count. 1 out. Top of the 6th. Scots trailing by 6, 9-3. Pratt's been going all the way pitching for the Pirates. Huddleston lofts a high fly ball out there, trying to make the catch as a second baseman, and I think he just moved the glove a little bit soon on Huddleston's pop-up. That is Johnson, and that ball just come right out, just bounced off like a basketball. It hit a rim hard.
I'm not. We've got a kind of a bad angle. I don't know what the sun did to him there. Looks like he lost it at the last minute.
Going to bring up Scott Shields. He's hit the ball solidly. He's 2 for 3 today.
Be alive out there, be alive!
Where do the Legion players go, or the state championship team go, John Miles, after the state tournament that you hold in Anderson this year?
If we're lucky enough, well, if anybody, whoever wins it, is going to go to Peoria, Illinois, and play in the regional quarterfinals over there, and they'll be playing at the Chicago Cubs AA Stadium over there, which is real nice. I played there before. It'll be a nice trip for us, and hopefully this will be the year we can do that.
I'm going to Davenport, Iowa. Doesn't the Cubs have a affiliate over in Davenport, Iowa?
Well, they have the Iowa AAA club over. I'm not sure where
I think they've got a single-A ball club in Davenport.
I can't tell you. May very well have.
I'm going to be there with my daughter in a fast pitch national qualifying tournament next weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How's your gal doing? I know she's pretty tough.
She's playing for the Indiana Heat this year, which is a girls 14 and under fast pitch team based out of Hamilton County. They played up near Chicago last weekend, and they go to national qualifier next weekend, and it's a very competitive brand of ball.
Oh, I know it is. I bet you're real proud of her too.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you got to work hard to get to that level, and you know about it, Kyle. To play at a higher level, you've got to work and get yourself in position to do it.
You just got to get yourself. You just got to step up a level. That's right.
Today's food for the TV40 crew provided by Subway in Kohl's Shopping Plaza and North Broadway locations in Anderson. Kohl's and North Broadway stores of Subway are now running a Turkey Club 6-inch Turkey Club special for only $1.99. Thanks to the fine folks at the Subway, Kohl's, and North Broadway. Shields pops it up down the right field line. I think they're going to run out of room over there. Just out of play, I believe.
Yeah, just up against the fence there. He almost made that play.
You know, to play on a traveling team, whether it's a boys or girls team, and even a Legion, it takes a lot of commitment, not only from the players, but their parents. And there's some money spent, just you guys traveling around the state of Indiana with the Legion.
Several $1,000s, John. It takes a lot of money.
Now, I know that for 14 girls and 5 coaches on this girls 1400 fast pitch traveling team out of Hamilton County, they're talking $30,000, guys, for the year. That's some bucks.
That doesn't surprise me at all. We're going to make an overnight trip to Terre Haute, play a couple games on Saturday at Indiana State, then stay all night and play Brazil the next day. And this is going to cost me one night, John, about $1,200 to take my team down there.
And this one's lined out.
It takes a lot of money.
Lined out in left field, and Pike makes a nice catch out there. Good-looking sophomore is Chad Pike.
To win this tournament, you got to have a little bit of luck, and it seems like when Highland has gotten runners on base, got something going, hit the ball hard, they've hit it right to people, and those are the kinds of things that'll win a tournament for you for Madison Heights.
And our fine drinks today provided by Huffman Concessions here in Anderson. It's Chuck Huffman and Joe and all the fine folks bringing drinks up to the press box and the camera crew today. So thanks to Huffman's Concessions. Making sure that we don't go thirsty.
Pratt doing everything he's got to do right here, just throwing strikes, putting the ball in play, letting his defense work.
He's had a lot of help defensively, and it's something Highland has not had. And there's a solid hit by Browning. And Browning's been a good 3-year starter for Coach Bob Stecker. Browning's first hit of the day, by the way. Now leave runners at first and second. You know, Scots are down to 4 outs. They've got to get something going here. I think if they can cut that lead down to about 9-6, they might have a shot.
Well, they'll be back in it, but I tell you what, the way Jimmy Pratt's pitching, it'd be tough to do. Jimmy's pitching a fine ball game.
And the scary thought is if Pratt does run out of gas, they bring in Hollowell.
Yeah,
they can do that. That's right.
How many innings does Todd Hollowell have left?
Still has 3.
Yeah. Well, Nykirk's made 1 trip out there, and that was back in the let's see, 5th inning when the Scots got a couple runs, and I think he just went out there to settle things down at that point in time. You got a stat there? 20 errors, 31 errors in the sectional total for all the teams, and 20 errors today. Is that right? Official scorekeeper Ed Hamilton's right on top of it. So that's pretty ugly baseball, wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah, and I think if Ed's determining the hits and errors, I think maybe he might have been lenient on a couple balls I seen today. So.
Well, I don't know. I think Ed's one of those guys that kind of favor the pitcher a little bit.
Yeah. You're taking shots at our official scorekeeper up here in the press box.
That's all right, Ed. That's all right. You either got to call him a hitter or an error.
Batter is Brad McGuire. McGuire so far today, he is 0 for 3. Grounded out twice and struck out. He's got a 2-0 count on him right now. Scott runners on the corners. Base hit will be big for the Scots here. High curveball.
John, I'm going to give this microphone back to Don Brandon. I'm going to have to get out of here.
Okay. John Miles from American Legion.
Thanks a million for having us up here.
Okay.
And just remember now, our big state tournament in the middle of August here. I'd like to see everybody down there.
Okay, good enough.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, John.
Here you are, Don.
Coach Brandon, grab that microphone. We'll let you kind of get ready here, and you're not gonna sing the, huh? Coach Brandon, I guess on those long road trips on the bus, he's got a song. What's the name of that song, Coach Brandon?
Oh, no, I'm not getting
Tell us
into
that
the
song,
road
Coach
trips.
Brandon.
No way.
Is it Old Gray Mare?
There's about anything can happen in those bands on those long road trips.
Yeah.
And probably does too, right, Kyle?
Yeah, it does. Anything you can think of.
3-1 to count on the batter. It's McGuire. Scott runners on the
good,
corners.
though. Nothing crazy. Or
Right,
anything like
right,
that.
Yeah.
right.
Scott's right now trying to dig out of a hole, and this time McGuire fouls it out of play.
Usually, believe it or not, all the players are usually studying or going over game plans or pitching charts, things like that, aren't they, Coach?
Yeah. Right.
In Florida, I know they do that a lot.
Well,
There's sunny beaches.
Well, we do have, I tell you, we do have some very interesting discussions on a lot of issues, social issues, philosophical, the whole thing. These guys, and when we let it fly.
Bases are now loaded as McGuire takes ball 4. So you got McGuire down at first, Browning at second, and Huddleston at third. And boy, a big base hit could really open things up.
That's the one thing Pratt doesn't want to do at this point of the game is provide base on balls, provide Highland with the base runners. This big ballpark, one ball gets by an outfielder now, and it could be an inside the Parker or a triple to clear him. And Highland's right back in the game.
That's correct. A gap shot, clear him.
We've mentioned Ed Hamilton, our official scorekeeper, is also the sports editor of the Elwood Call Leader. Does a great job in supplying county stats for this tournament that are handed out at the door, and really does a nice job of supporting high school baseball.
And this one misses outside. I see Coach Alan Darner of the Highland Scott basketball team. Maybe Coach Brandy can get him. We can ask him about his son, Ty Darner's going to be playing the Indiana Kentucky All-Star game. We'll change a little bit and just talk about basketball for a second. McFall looks at a ball. That brings the count to 1-1. Of course, the Indiana Kentucky All-Star game not too far away.
Right. Basketball is a year-round deal in Indiana.
Well, look at the Pacers right now. They pushed it to the brink. And McFall fouls it back out of play. Of course, the Pacers should have got that one last night. Should have, could have. It's going to make it awful tough on them going back to Madison Square.
I'm sure there's nobody on that team that wanted to make another back to New York.
Especially not Reggie.
Come on, Dan, one more.
1-2 the count, 2 out. McFall the batter. Here comes the pitch from Pratt, and this one misses outside. That'll level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. No place to put him, Kyle.
Nope, I think one more base runner, one more hit or a walk, and we'll see Mr. Hollowell come to the mound for the Pirates.
Here comes a pitch by Pratt, and it misses 2, and all of a sudden the count's ran to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gonna have people moving here, Kyle.
Moving on the pitch.
3-2 the count, 2 out, bases full. Here comes the full count delivery. Swung on and popped up a mile high in the air in foul territory. They're going to make the catch as a third baseman, and he makes it. And he really had to concentrate on that one. Corey Moore makes the catch, and the Scots leave the bases full. And for 5.5, the score is 9-3. The Madison Heights Pirates over the Highland Scots. Will be back right after these messages.
The sound of dripping water? Not.
Steve Hensley, the leadoff hitter, grounds one foul down the third base line. Hensley is a .383 hitter so far today. He's 2 for 3. Joining us up here in the press box is the head coach of the Anderson Highland Scott basketball team, Alan Darner. And of course, Alan, your son Tig is going to be playing in the Indiana Kentucky All-Star Series, and he's out here playing baseball for the Scots for the first time in a while.
That's right. It's first time since Little League since he's played baseball, and he's he's done a pretty good job for not playing for 5 or 6 years, but he's really looking forward to the playing for the Indiana All-Stars. And a couple weeks ago they had I had a practice down at Ben Davis. Actually, they were down there the whole weekend and had 3 practices in inter-squad scrimmage, and he got 18 in the inter-squad scrimmage. Did real well.
He's going to be going to Appalachian State, correct?
Appalachian State, that's correct.
Appalachian State, okay. Here comes Webb's 0-2 delivery, and this one's high for a ball. Can you tell me anything about the Kentucky All-Star team? I tried to talk to Pat Aikman, the game director, and he didn't give me any indication of what kind of ball club Kentucky had this year. Have you heard anything?
Well, I think that, they always have a pretty good ball club. I don't know in detail, but they have a kid that's going to Kentucky, Paget, who's supposed to be pretty good, another player going to Louisville, so they got to be good players if they're going to schools like that.
Hensley grounds out, pitcher to first for out number 1. This year, graduation to your Highland Scott ball club, but what do you got coming back next year in basketball season?
Well, we're pretty well depleted on our basketball team. We had 4 seniors start, and 3 of our seniors did almost all of our ball handling and scoring. So we lost ball handling and scoring. That's a lot to lose. And of course, Tig was our leading rebounder as well. But and our JV team was 9-11. Our freshman team didn't do very well at all, but we did have some freshman kids playing up. Eric Anderson was a freshman that played up on the varsity, and a couple other freshmen played JVs.
Count is 2-0 on Todd Hollowell. Hollowell so far today, he reached one time on an error back in the 2nd inning. Comes Webb's delivery, and this one is high. For ball 3.
Coach Darner's other son also had a pretty good basketball career. Played on a Big Ten champion this year with Purdue. Link, what are Link's plans now? I hear he's going to stay on as an assistant coach.
Right, he's going to be a student assistant at Purdue this next year, and while he finishes up on a few hours of undergraduate and also start his graduate degree. And so it'll be a great opportunity for him. He wants to be a college coach. So this will be a great way to get into college coaching. And, it was a great year for them, great year for Purdue to get to the Final 8.
Are you doing anything as far as a Highland Scott boys basketball camp? Or?
Yes, we have a camp this next week, and Tuesday through Friday. In fact, kids can still sign up for it, but the kids in grades 3 through 8. And then we will have open gym, a lot of open gym this summer, and hope kids get out and play a lot of basketball.
Well, there's a hit out into center field by Pratt, then an error, which is going to allow the runner to score from first. That's Hollowell, and a base hit and an error and another run for the Pirates. And we were talking to Coach Don Brandon of the Anderson University Ravens, Coach Darner. He said a big emotion went for Highland today over Anderson. He felt like maybe they come out a little flat here in the championship game.
Well, I really don't know about that. People always may say that, but it seems like both teams have hit the ball pretty good, and both teams have had a little trouble fielding it, but as things go, a lot of times it seems like Madison Heights got the breaks at the right time, and the ball hasn't dropped in for us at the right time.
We got a pinch runner coming in. Kyle, you pick up the number?
No, I didn't, John.
28, they say, coming in. We'll have to check the roster out. James coming in, Toby James. Toby James into pinch run. Of course, Kyle, you and I realized very quickly early on today that the numbers for the Pirate baseball team were all incorrect.
Right. They went with their old roster in the sectional roster here, so all the numbers have changed.
It's Corey Moore now the batter, with Toby James, a pinch runner at second. Swung on by Moore, hit down into right field, slicing toward the foul line. It's going to hit going foul territory. That'll allow Toby James to score from second. And winding up with a double out there is Corey Moore.
Once again, Madison Heights hitting the spots offensively, hitting it down the lines and extra base hits.
Coach Donner, we're looking forward to doing a lot of televised Madison County High School basketball next year on TV 40. We're right now getting the schedule together, but we'll be seeing several teams from Madison County.
Well, we look forward to that. I think that'd be great exposure, and there's some great basketball played in the county, and there should be some parity next year, although I have to say Alexandria would be the big favorite starting out the year.
They've got everybody returning except for Mike Seaman, who graduated.
Right, and they had some good players on the bench that had good size. It looked like they'll get a lot stronger. I'm talking about kids like Urban, and I think that's really going to help them next year.
And Scott Starr, who
right.
we're talking about, who you think about.
And Madison Heights has a lot of kids back, and so's Anderson for that matter. And Elwood's got a very good kid in Williams, and Franklin's got two very good players in Brabston and Wright. So there'll be a lot of good basketball in the county.
11-3 the score here. Pirates on top by 8. Here's one by Scott, swung on. They've got a runner hung up at third. They are able to get him. And forcing out at third is Corey Moore. And a heads-up play there by the Scots shortstop, Tom Johns. I want to say Tommy Johns, you know.
Little base running laps there. With nobody behind you, the rule is if a ground ball's hit in front of you, you should stay at second. Also, I believe that Madison Heights pinch ran for Pratt.
They did.
If that's correct, then there
James.
will be a pitching change, and we will probably see Hollowell here in the last inning.
2 outs, bottom half of the 6th. There's a pitch by Webb, trying to steal second. He's going to get the job done on the high throw down to second. In there, sliding head first is Stacy Scott. But Coach Donner, we're looking at probably around 35 to 40 high school games next year on TV 40. And several of those games, as I mentioned, will be in the Madison County area, which TV 40 has not ventured into Madison County much. During the tail end of this past season, we did a couple of Frankton and Elwood ball games.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad to see you doing all those games, and even down in Marion County or Hamilton County, because it helps us on the scouting to be able to pick those games up on TV.
You got the old VCR going.
I'm looking at it from 2 angles there.
We're statewide, well, pretty much central Indiana statewide. You're talking 251 cable cities in the state from Peru to Bloomington. So, yeah, we get a lot of exposure.
Right, we've been on before. I know a couple years ago they did the Carmel ball game down at Carmel, and always do a good job on that station.
Be working in basketball with Coach Dave Nicholson. I think you probably know Coach.
Oh, yes. All right. Dave should be a good commentator, good color commentator with you.
And this one fouled out of play by number 7, Jeremy Johnson. Johnson so far, 1 hit and 3 times up, 1 for 3. In football, we work a little bit with a guy by the name of Barry Krause. I think you gentlemen probably heard of him. Former Colt and Miami Dolphin linebacker. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3 to end up the bottom of the 6th inning, but not before the Pirates pick up 2 insurance runs, and they lead it after 6 full, 11-3 over Highland Scots. We'll be back for the 7th right after these messages, and thanks, Coach Donner, for stopping by and joining us.
Thank you.
The sound of dripping water? Not when Lease Exterior...
In the top of the 7th for Highland is Matt Carpenter. He's 1 for 3 today, a single his last time at bat. Takes the ball. Thanks to Ed Hamilton, our official scorekeeper, for keeping us up to date here from the Elwood Call Leader. Thanks to Coach Don Brandon, the Anderson University Ravens, his associate coach Jim Hazen, John Miles from the Anderson American Legion, Coach Terry Turner from the Anderson Indians, and who else did I get on here? Alan Donner, head basketball coach. The Highland Scots, I think we've covered all the bases.
I think we've got everybody. There's a couple ladies in the stands here we haven't brought up.
Okay. Yeah, knowing Coach Brandon, he'll go hunt them out. And we want to thank Huffman Concessions for providing drinks for the TV 40 crew out here televising the game today. Carpenter lofts it up out into right field, drawing a beat on it out there is Stacy Scott for out number 1. And the Madison Heights Pirates are 2 outs away from the sectional championship. Brad Webb now the batter. Want to thank Subway in the Kohl's Shopping Plaza, and also on North Broadway in Anderson for feeding the fine TV40 crew. And don't forget, Subway in those two locations at Kohl's and North Broadway are offering the Turkey Club 6-inch sandwich for $1.99. Batter up is now Brad Webb. Webb so far today, he is 2 for 3.
Highland down this many runs, they're probably taking a strike. Looking for base runners, trying to draw a walk. They'll probably not swing the bat till they get a strike on them.
Kyle, enjoyed working with you today. You've done a fine job.
It was a lot of fun.
Pinch hitting
Appreciate
for
it.
Dennis Casey. I think old Casey's needed a day off. 1-0 the count. Here comes a pitch from Pratt, who's went all the way. And Pratt's put the ball in, he's pitched it in there and let the defense back him up, and they've done a good job of it.
He's done a nice job. I can't remember a base, maybe one base on ball since the first inning, given up by Pratt.
Well, I got a base on balls back in the 6th. And I'm really searching for another one. Yeah, back to the 1st. Now
he's done the job, of course, as soon as we say that.
Yeah.
Here's one.
That's the announcer's jinx.
That's right.
You'll learn the announcer's jinx.
That's right.
It's like on free throws. Well, he's shooting 90%, and what's he do? Shoot up an air ball.
That's right.
Or he's batting.
I think my wife.
Batting 036, and he lines.
My wife did that to Reggie Miller last night, I think.
She jinxed him.
Yep.
So it was your wife's fault that we lost.
That's right. That's right.
Oh boy, Kyle.
That with a little bit of help from Smith, I think.
Yeah. Be interesting tomorrow night just to see how the Pacers come out and play. I think it was a very emotional game last night. They needed to win it, obviously. 11-3 the score, and the Pirates in the driver's seat here. Pratt's starting to tire just a little bit out there.
Trying to tire a little bit, and he's probably, Highland's, like I said, taking a strike, so he might be trying to aim the ball a little bit instead of just getting in a rhythm and throwing it.
Don't forget, TV40 will have the championship game of the Anderson Highland Regional next week for you on June the 11th. Our airtime will be 11 o'clock on Saturday night. Did you get that, official scorekeeper? That will be televising the championship game of the Anderson Highland Regional next week. 1-1 to count, and this one catches the corner, brings the count to 1-2. You gonna be back with us next week, Kyle?
Yeah, be happy to.
Okay. And so we got New Pal.
New Palestine.
Yeah, it's going to be represented out of the Pendleton section.
Big upset. Pendleton Heights was picked to go past the regional maybe this year.
What about at Yorktown? What do you hear over there?
I haven't heard a score from Yorktown yet.
So did you get the championship teams? Nope.
No.
You haven't heard anything. Who's the favorite over there then?
Yorktown.
Yorktown, Muncie Southside.
Is Delta in that? Okay, Delta's in the Wapahana.
At Jay County is what Bob Dixon, former AD at Ella, tells us. There's a swing and a miss by Johns. Trout, number 2. Well, the Scots are down to their last out.
Madison Heights looking for this last out to...
Take your time now, baby. It's all yours.
11-3, Pirates in command. Ever since that 6-run second inning, they just been in the driver's seat. No one's even threatened them. And Pratt running back and firing a strike.
After what was probably a disappointing regular season for him, this is sure a good way to end on a good note, winning the Anderson Sectional for Madison Heights.
0-1 to count to Meeker. Now it's 1-1. So once again, TV40 has the championship game of the 1994 Anderson Highland Regional next week right here at 11 p.m. Don't forget, each week, Indiana Sports Talk comes on Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. Here's one lofted up by Meeker out into short right field, and it's going to drop in for a hit. And it's going to leave the runners for the Scots at first and third. That was one of those seeing eye, lofty Texas leaguers.
Couldn't have placed it any better. Right between the second baseman and right fielder. The second baseman today on both teams seemed to have a hard time picking up the ball. Not sure if that's right where the sun's at.
I don't know if the third baseman for the Pirates injured himself, Corey Moore. grabbing his back of his leg. Huddleston now stepping into the batter's box for the Highland Scots when we return to play. Indiana Sports Talk next week. We've got the likes of Ray Talbert and Pat Aikman, the game director from the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Game. That's two of our fine guests, and hopefully we'll get Bobby Wilkerson on there, for a former Madison Heights player, played at IU on the 76 National Championship team and had a stint in the pros. He's now running the Geter Center here in Anderson. Of course, Ray Talbert, former Madison Heights IU great, played on the National Championship team in '81 and played with the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Hawks.
A couple pretty good players.
Yeah. Pat Aikman's done a fine job with the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Game over the past several years. So we got a real good lineup next week. Now, the following week, on Saturday, June the 16th, we'll be going to the Indiana High School Boys Basketball Hall of Fame, talking to possibly the Alfords and Ron Newland, the Hall of Fame director, down in Newcastle. Here's a ground ball, hit up, and the Pirates able to force him at second, and that's it. The Madison Heights Pirates win the 1994 Alexandria Baseball Sectional. The Pirates 11, the Anderson Highland Scots 3. Thanks for joining us here on TV 40 Sports. For Kyle Campbell, I'm John Fox saying so long from AU, Anderson University. As always, have a good day, and remember to be a good sport.
Humphrey's Automotive